It's Durgamata, and I am aiming to do a live every morning at 8 o'clock. So today I'm a little bit late, but I'm here. Mindfulness. Mindfulness is a bird with two wings. The first wing is to bring your attention to who you are and what it's like to be you here and now at this moment in time. It's like stepping outside of yourself and looking at yourself almost like a scientist with curiosity and seriousness and a lot of humor as well. Mindfulness can be very playful. So the first wing of the mindfulness bird is bring your attention to here and now, where you are, what you're doing, what you're feeling, what you're thinking. And the second wing of the mindfulness bird is your attitude. And the attitude is kindly, compassionate, self-loving, patient, a little bit playful if you like, but no criticism or judgment. It literally is about finding out more about yourself here and now. And yesterday I was listening to a video by Gopal Das, who's one of my favourite luminaries. And one of the things he was saying was, now I've forgotten it, now I'm telling you. That was a particular thing, I'll remember it in a bit and tell you then. Oh yes, he was saying we have three relationships. First relationship we have, which is often neglected, is the relationship we have with ourselves. Then you get the relationship between all the other people in the world, close family and people you just see at a distance. And the third relationship you get is with whatever the universe is in its greatness. Some people call it God, the universe, the force. I wonder if you like Star Wars. I sent my friends a message on the 4th saying, "May the 4th be with you." It's an in-joke for Star Wars fans. May the Force be with you. So in mindfulness, we're looking at the first of these relationships, the relationship we have with ourselves. And the first thing you can do is use your physical senses to bring yourself strongly into the present moment. And I usually start with sight, and I look around. Don't know whether it's because I'm an artist or whether it just supports my observational skills, but I'll look around and I'll notice things that I might have just completely ignored or not even noticed at all. Like at the moment I do my videos in my bedroom sitting on my bed, and very often the cats come up and sit with me. And the first few days ago I did one, it wasn't alive, but my black cat Bella climbed onto my lap right in the middle of the video, which was quite funny. I've now got the three tabby cats sat on me. I can show you the closest one. She's sitting right here. This is Bella. So obviously the cats draw my attention straight away because they've got personality and they want to be either comfortable sitting on the bed or having some affection from me. And today I noticed that my dressing gown is on the bed, and it's a dressing gown that my daughter in India gave me. Sorry, I've got an itchy nose. And it's got little monkeys on. And the Buddha, who is the great expert when it comes to mindfulness, called our mind a monkey mind because it's never still. It's always jumping about, swinging through the trees, pulling your hair, pinching you, and taking your attention way away from the present moment. And a lot of the stress, my company is called Ultimate Stress Solutions, a lot of the stress in our lives is caused by our mind. It's not even real. Like something horrible happens, but it only happens here and now in the moment, and then it's gone into the past. But how much of the time do we think, of things that have gone wrong or things that we wish were different from the past. And we bring all that stress from the past, which has gone, into the present moment. So in mindfulness, we can watch our mind and notice if it's giving us extra trouble and bring it back to the present moment when we notice that it's drifting away. And the other thing the mind can do is think about problems that haven't even happened yet and worries about the future. So I call it time traveling. And one of the first things to do in mindfulness is catch your mind when it goes time traveling. And I think of my mind as a little kid and I say, "Oi, what are you doing? Come back here. Sit on my knee. We're doing a mindfulness exercise." And mindfulness exercises, there are two kinds. I always say the mindfulness bird can be sitting on its nest, which was perching on a twig, or curled up on the ground. It's not moving anywhere. And that's what you're doing when you actually set time aside for a mindfulness exercise. And maybe, like I am now, take your attention to your senses and use your sense of sight, look around, notice what's in the room that you may not have noticed about before, or what's in the garden if you're in a garden, or wherever you happen to be. Notice what's in the rubble if you're sitting somewhere in the ruins of Gaza, for example. There's bound to be some unexpected, surprising things that you may not have noticed. Maybe some little spark of nature trying to re-inhabit a corner. So the first thing is bringing your attention here and now into the moment and looking, using your sight to notice things you might not have noticed before, noticing them perhaps in more detail than you might have noticed before. And when you're noticing your mind slip away into the past or the future, bringing it back kindly, not saying, "Oh, I'm no good at mindfulness, look what's happening, my mind is going all over the place." No, that is mindfulness. It's noticing when your mind goes all over the place and bringing it back, bringing your attention back to this moment. And one of the things I can see when I look around is I was doing some silk painting yesterday. Sorry, itchy nose again. I think it's the cat hairs. And I was fairly happy with what I'd done. I painted some cards. I make cards to raise money for the families I know in Gaza. And I'd made some designs for cards for a workshop that's coming up, a stall that's coming up in a Palestinian little bazaar they call a souk, that's coming up in 17th of May in London. So I was painting I stretched my silk on a screen. I can show you. Where is it? No, I can't show you one at the moment. It's in the kitchen. I stretched the silk on a screen and then paint on it with a silk gutter, which is like a block. It's like a little tube of very thin toothpaste. So I draw with that, and then when it's dry, I can paint the silk dyes, which are liquid, and they are supposed to stop when they reach the gutter. They don't stop very well, but that's part of the feature of the silk, that it spreads beyond the line sometimes. So I did that, and I finished it, and I wasn't totally happy with it. It looked a bit kind of almost like too precise. I don't know if you've ever seen the drawing books for kids where they have to do different colours according to the numbers on the page of the picture. And it's pretty, but it's not really creative. So I thought, well, with silk, the dyes have to be fixed by steaming. I don't usually bother to fix them because for a card it's not something going to wash and wear. But I thought I'll steam it. I did, and it came out really badly. But that's part of how you learn. Sometimes it can come out really nicely, interesting. But I'll show you anyway. So these are the designs. That one's not too bad, that blue flower, that red heart. That yellow one was really pretty on the first one, but it's gone very blurred now. And you can see that one washed out almost completely. And the little blue flower is probably okay. And that purple one's probably okay. But the others are going to need some serious weeding. So that's looking at things. Interestingly, I'm looking at myself a little bit, which I'm not supposed to be. I'm supposed to be looking at the camera. But I'm noticing the patterns on my sari. And this sari is one of my favourite. I was at a meditation festival in New York one year and walking along with a friend from Switzerland. And I admired her sari. And on the way back, she said, "Oh, I just want to stop off at where I'm staying and get something." So I waited outside and she came down and she gave me this sari. So it has not only beauty but also emotional association. And I'm noticing that I've actually can see some patterns in it that I've never really focused on. I've just loved it for the colour, but I've never really noticed the patterns. I've certainly not noticed that there's the Indian shape. I can't remember what it's called, but there's a shape there, which is quite sweet. And as soon as you start to use your eyes and use your sense of sight, you bring your attention to the present moment and you notice so much more than you would normally see when you're just going about your business. So that's one exercise that I really recommend. Anytime you feel stressed, just bring your attention to here and now where you are. And you can do this as an exercise where you take time out and sit somewhere and relax. When I'm doing a mindfulness exercise, sitting down, I always start by doing a few stretches because I'm going to be having my body stiff and still for a while. Not stiff, but still. And then I'll notice the weight of my body, how it's settling on the chair or on the ground, my feet, the warmth and solidness of my body. And it's almost like getting your mind and your body to be relaxed, and then you can focus on the actual exercise. And I might do it for 2 minutes, I might do it for 10 minutes. I usually set a timer. And if you're not used to mindfulness, I recommend 2 minutes because your monkey mind will jump in all directions. But if you're telling your mind beforehand, "Hey, I'm only going to do this for 2 minutes," then it doesn't fight so hard, it doesn't disturb you so much. And when you notice it time travelling, going off into the past or the future, then just bring it back. Don't think you're doing the wrong thing. This is the exercise. This is the actual process that rewires our brain in a positive way. And scientists put electrodes on your head and notice what's going on in your brain. And they can see positive rewiring after just 5 days of 10 minutes a day mindfulness practice. Your neocortex, your command center in your brain, is stronger, the denser. There are more cells there and the connections are getting more. While the amygdala, which is in charge of stress, actually shrinks because you have reduced the stress in your life. Just with 10 minutes a day for 5 days, they can see this change. Obviously, if you want long-term benefit, you need to practice every day. It's like anything. You want to get good at it, you need to practice it. And you will notice yourself how it improves your life as the time goes on, how you get better at it. One example of when I've used sight as a mindfulness exercise was I'd been to IKEA. I can't remember what I'd bought or why, but I'd had an awful job in actually finding how to get there. And the buses were tricky and I'd walked for miles and eventually got there and got what I wanted. And I was really tired and it was a long way home and a lot of buses. So I noticed, not feeling as happy as I might be. Let me do some mindfulness. So I decided, I was waiting at the bus stop and I decided to look for things that are circular. So I had my sight focused on noticing anything that was circular. And of course the wheels of the passing vehicles were circular, and some of the logos on them were circular. And I noticed when I got on the bus that the place where you swipe your card was circular, and I noticed the dials on the in front of the driver mostly were circular, and it became a really entertaining game. And all the drive, I was looking out the window and I was noticing the zeros on shop names and whether they were elliptical or circular or bold or patterned and all kinds of things like that. It made the journey home absolutely joyful, and all the stress and tiredness just melted away. So this is a powerful, powerful practical exercise which is guaranteed and proven to reduce your stress and make you happier. So that's my live for today. I hope you enjoyed it. And don't worry if things don't work out how you think they should, like this. Just go from where you are, learn from what's happening, and take the next good step forward. Have a great day. Bye. I always forget how to stop these things. I think it's up the right-hand corner.